previous to the race why he thought it would be just an outstanding feat to win. Did you hear his excuse why he wanted to win?
I did not hear it.
Because he wanted his name on next year's Chili Bowl shirts.
I know another driver.
Racers are funny like this, aren't
know.
they? I mean,
I know another driver that there was one race he wanted to win just because the name went on the shirts. And his car went on the shirts.
this has to be, I'm going to guess, Bill Mills related?
No. Strawberry Cup.
Drager.
Yeah.
But
I want
it's
my
funny
name on a shirt.
because you look at it's the funny thing is the prestige of that race. To make the A main there is, I mean, you've basically won.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking 365 cars and you go down to the final 24. That's a win in itself, like Warren said. And then to go out and beat those guys in that, I mean, 55 laps and they click off quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, they do.
It's an exciting thing to watch.
And
but
it certainly helps to start up front. Coming from the back is a tremendous feat.
Absolutely.
But starting up front, sure.
Well, and we did see that Bryson proved he can pass. He started 24th in the feature on the night prior to the big race and finished 14th. I mean,
Right.
to pass 10 cars.
It's possible. It's tough to do.
It is, and those guys that's hardcore racing. They do not give you an inch.
They take a lot more than they give.
They
that's
absolutely do. So that was a fun race to watch.
It was.
The Chili Bowl, that track. You're looking at laps that are just they click off quick, and they're 3 wide, and you get up on the cushion. And how many times, Warren, did we see that cushion grab a car and throw it into the wall? I mean, that's we've seen it a lot. It's one of those deals where you better be smooth because that things happen real quick right there.
Well, now let's see. Rico got in on.
He got a wreck.
Well, he got into the A main on a what's it called?
Provisional.
Provisional. Thank you. And otherwise, he wouldn't have been there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So.
Right.
And that's due to Rex.
Yeah, I mean it's you got to have a whole lot of luck on top of a ton of skill.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals where it doesn't matter how good you are, you're dealing with the best. And what's cool was the segment on Tony doing track prep.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart, I mean, owner of Eldora, 3-time NASCAR champion, spends his time in the dirt world now, and says, you know what, I'm totally content in retirement. I'm loving this. This is what it's supposed to be about. And he's there doing the track prep. He didn't do the water truck, but he was actually running the tractor and prepping the track. And job well done.
Yeah. The track looked nice.
Yeah, it was a very good race. So I thought the Chili Bowl, the whole excitement for me was, I mean, truly it was Bryson. He's the kid from our area. Everybody's rooting for him. To watch what he does, it was fun. The hype, the excitement was just like, man, let's see what he can do. He's running against the best, and then to see where he's, he qualifies and he runs his qualifier, and he's in the C main. You're thinking, and here's this will tell you how tough it was. I don't know if you guys remember this. Out of the C main that he was in, they transferred 6th to the B.
Right.
Bryson started 7th.
No, he started 8th.
Started 7th, finished 8th.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely.
But that tells you the top 6, nobody really moved.
Yeah.
And the little bit, and I will admit,
that's
I did
the
watch,
C main. That tells you the level of competition.
I did watch a little bit of the Chili Bowl, and the only way I was able to watch it was on Facebook Live. Thank you to one of our local racers that did that. I'm not going to name
There was
his
a
name.
few of them.
Yeah, there was a few.
But I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I'm looking at the track, and I'm like, okay, guys, this track does not look racy. There was one line. I take it back. When I watched, there were 2 lines. You were either on the Rob Maya line, which everybody knows that's 2 inches or less off the fence, or you're in the Casey Vitale line, which is 2 inches or less from
the bottom,
the infield.
I've seen Casey up on the top, but no, I did see. We saw a lot of 3 and 4 wide.
That was typical of the beginnings of the race. Was one lane, and then as the race progressed, it would open up into 2 or 3 lanes.
I saw quite a few 3 wide moments. That were pretty exciting.
So, and I only caught like 1 or 2 heats. Or 1 or 2 short races. I didn't catch the mains at all.
I think they watered in between each main and did any track repair they needed to do.
Well, talking with Charlie, he says during the heat races they were running like 5, 6 heats or 7 heats, whatever, and then they'd come out and put a little water down to kind of check the track. Tony would look at it, and then he'd put the tractor on it and do a little farming. They would, but he said that it was pretty consistent.
Yeah, and then for the mains, I think pretty much they did it in between each main.
I think they did.
They watered and groomed.
Give everybody a fair shot, same type track conditions.
Yep, and so in each race you saw the line start out at the bottom. Everybody started at the bottom, and then
Right.
they started slowly working up. 5-10 laps into it, they were all up on the outside.
Right.
And of course, it's like anywhere, the outside was fastest. So
Right.
you needed
Yeah.
to get up there as soon as you could.
Well, if you get that right rear Hoosier up there on that cushion, use that
Right.
for some forward bite, and you saw the best of the best do it.
Yep.
I think that was
That's really true at any racetrack. If your car can
Right.
handle
the cushion.
the cushion, and if you know how to ride the fence and basically, if your name's Rob Maya or
He
Justin,
does do that
or
well.
Justin Cady or any of
There's
those
a
guys,
lot of them.
if you can ride the fence, you're going to carry more momentum around that track, and you're going to be faster on exit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. It's all about
But
momentum.
It's literally it takes a special skill set and a special pair of kahunas to run the top side, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say special. I'd just say really, really big.
I wouldn't say kahunas either, but
I wouldn't either. But
we're on the radio, and we haven't had the FCC call in a while, and I really don't think we want them to call anytime soon.
yeah, they haven't called today, so that's good.
not yet.
Not yet.
Show's not over.
That's true.
We're getting looser.
Well, and it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. It's all in good fun. But so
Absolutely.
the Chili Bowl again. Looking forward to next year's event already. We will be there, guys. We're going.
We are.
We're planning and budgeting, and it's going to be there. And we probably won't be able to do any broadcasting from it, but we'll be there as fans, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
I just want that experience. Talking with Charlie today, it was just like, man, we should have went.
It's a bucket list thing.
It absolutely is.
Well, I have family in Tulsa, so I'm going to be right.
Well,
at
good.
home.
Our lodging's taken care of.
Our
Widescreen.
lodging is. I would bet money would be taken care of.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's
There you go.
that's an expense saver right there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something funny about the Chili Bowl. That talking with Charlie, he said that when Bryson was in his qualifier main on the night prior to, he said that Bryson goes out and runs his qualifier. He says he got off the track. He said at the end of the race, Johnny Herrera, who was watching that race,
Of
was
course.
sweating more than Bryson because he was so into the race and focused and just really, said he was really said he had more sweat on him than Bryson did when Bryson got out of the car. And another interesting note of the Chili Bowl, Charlie said that it was like day 1 or day 2. It was 78 degrees. On the night they ran the features, it was 21.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I can't take that much of a temperature swing.
that's a lot.
Hey, but it happens.
That's crazy. So I just thought it was a great event to watch, and I'm glad that MAV TV carries that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Too bad they didn't carry more than just A, B, and C.
I know.
But that's. I was glad to be able to see that.
yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So
And Bryson got to carry the flag.
he did. That was a pretty. That had to be a pretty cool moment for him to represent the state of Oregon and carry the flag. There was only 2 Oregon drivers there.
Who was the other one?
Mike Wheeler, cage kart driver. He's a factory car.
Yeah,
I know he drove
yeah.
for QRC for a long time. And
Yeah.
I don't know who he's with now, but he. I don't know why he didn't even walk with Bryson, but Bryson carried the flag and represented the state of Oregon, and I'm sure he felt pretty honored to do that. I think anybody would at a
Heck
show
yeah.
like that. That's pretty
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah, neat deal. So, other than the Chili Bowl, the other big deal going on was the the Wild West late model shootout down in Arizona.
Absolutely.
Well, it wasn't just late models; they had a little bit of everything. But
They had a little bit of everything. They had late models, they had USRA modifieds, and they had a class called the X mods.
right,
Now,
which are those are what we call sport mods up here? What's
it essentially is there? It's basically combining about 6 different rules packages that are all essentially the same thing as a sport mod or a B mod in the IMCA calling, and call it the X mods.
right?
It's kind of like what Chris Sine and April did with the Iron Giant for
Right.
the Street Stocks. Open up the rules a little bit, get the car count up, and I'll tell you what. Watching some of that X mod racing was some really good racing. Of course, you had all the big names there: Billy Moyer, Bobby Pierce, Justin.
Those
John,
were the 2 big names.
were 2 big names.
Well, there was Jimmy Mars.
Mars was there.
You had
R.C. Whitwell showed up. Tony Toast was there.
Kyle Strickler.
Tony Toast was there.
Tony
Yeah,
Toast was
awesome.
Strickler was
He
there. Several California guys. In fact,
there. 4 of the 5 shows.
Nice.
Tony was actually the highest finishing
Average.
West Coast guy
Yeah,
in points. I'm talking points.
points wise.
Right.
Yeah,
And he was
If
21st.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
If R.C. Whitwell wouldn't have had nearly as many mechanical failures as he did, or just if that guy had any luck,
Well, it's one of those deals where he had, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about Whitwell real quick because I don't know the full story on it. I'm hoping that maybe you do because you've been watching this deal and kind of. He lost his ride. Did you hear this?
no.
Yes, he is out of the ride that he was in, and that ride has been taken over by Ricky Thornton Jr.
Wow.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that one.
And I don't know why. If anybody knows why, feel free to give us a call on the Crockers Cars call-in line. That's 503-862-3478-DIRT. Or hit us up on the Swears Trucking chat line here on the Spreaker app in the Jetstream studio. I would like to know if anybody knows why, because I didn't get the full story. I just caught a little bit of it.
How do you know what you do know?
I saw a quick little video, something going on Facebook. But I do know that they said Whitwell is out of that ride and Thornton Jr. was moving in. I don't know. And I don't want to say something that's not true, but I do know that happened.
Well, if it's on Facebook, it's true.
If it's on the internet, right?
Right.
Yeah, everything's true. I mean, we have sightings of T-Rex all the time.
Yeah.
It happens.
Hey,
But
that was some fun racing to watch. It
you
really
know
was.
that Wild West deal down there is.
It's always good racing.
Well, I mean, you got another big name. Terry Phillips was there.
Terry Phillips was there, and he actually held his own. It was
That's a race car driver right there.
Yeah.
Terry's he's cut from a race car driver's
well,
mold.
and then his son-in-law. And for the life of me, I cannot remember his son-in-law's name. But those two were banging doors and going back and forth, and I'm sitting there going, "Man, there's a family.
There's no friends on the racetrack.
There is going to be a major family dispute over dinner. Sheriff Joe might show up.
I saw on Facebook too where some guy, I can't think of his name, and it's not even worth repeating because he doesn't deserve the recognition, but he was saying how they rained out the last day down there, right?
The last two shows.
The last 2 days. Well, this guy's on Facebook going, "Oh, they did that on purpose. The promoter didn't want to pay out the $150,000 or whatever it was for the sweep."
That's
and
If you
oh my God!
If you're talking to anybody that was down there, they tried to get the show.
look at the pictures they were posting. The weather was horrible.
All track promoters do what they can to put a race on. They don't cancel a race to save money. And,
No.
and not.
No.
I totally get it, but I'm just saying it.
Some
This guy
angry idiot
raised
probably had
everybody-
one or two too many, and
And then
You
he
need
got
to shut up and go home.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There was a very long thread of everybody calling him everything from under the sun.
deservedly so.
With idiot and at the top.
Yeah,
But
I'll tell you what, this series was dominated in the three classes that were there.
there were three guys that
Two guys that dominated
right.
this entire event. Late models, you got 4 nights in of late models, X mods, and USRA modifieds. And for those at home that are listening, USRA modifieds is essentially an IMCA modified, just a little bit of a different body and engine package. That's essentially the only difference between the two. USRA mods are what we used to run out here prior to the IMCA modifieds. They allow aluminum components in the engine compartment. They allow a spoiler for all their cars. They're fast.
I like the USRA. I do like the
modifieds.
USRA package. I do.
I think the USRA package for a modified is a much easier, or I shouldn't say an easier, a much closer transition for a driver. It's a good mix of a late model and an IMCA modified.
It is.
It's right in the middle. You've got a big blade, you got a big motor, and you got a little tire. It's a lot of fun.
And with IMCA and the way they put their rules together, I like the concept.
I do too.
It keeps everybody on the same page. I mean, they're tight on how they do stuff, and that's great. We had that conversation on the last show, but going back to the winners, I mean, Bobby Pierce in the late models.
Bobby Pierce. Here comes the smooth operator out of Illinois. That kid was on fire. No matter where he started, he was the guy you had to keep your eye on because he was coming up your tailpipe and he was going to pass you.
And he did.
He did.
Won 3 of the 4 shows.
3 of the 4 shows, except for one night.
And who won that one?
Mr. Smooth.
Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas.
There's a guy.
Legend.
Yes.
Legend.
Dirt Racing Hall of Fame. Billy Moyer.
yeah, that's evidently why we can't get him on the phone.
That's probably true.
Hey, I've heard he's a big NASCAR fan. He's a little offended, too.
That's not true.
well,
Just because he's friends
Corey's-
with Mark Martin, he's from the same city as Mark Martin. I mean, whatever.
Corey's changing his tune a little bit. We're getting him around. He's coming around.
Yeah, it'll slowly take time. So
Patterson says right here, he's confirmed it. Thornton Jr. is out of that ride, and RC.
Thornton Jr.
is in, and RC is out. I'd like to know why, though. I didn't hear why. Was it just based off the performance and the bad luck that RC had? I mean, I don't know if there was a conflict between him and the car owner. I'm not sure. I don't know.
But you got to look at it. Ricky Thornton Jr. What is Ricky Thornton Jr. known for?
He's aggressive. He's fast.
And he dominated this series. Won 3 of the 4 shows they put on.
Yeah.
in the mods.
In the mods, he was on fire. He also had some time in the late Model 2, but unfortunately that car has to go back to the factory.